Hey Matt, you got a package.
Oh really? Who's it from?
Jared Leto. Yeah, I guess he's sending presents to critics who are seeing Suicide Squad.
Aw, that's so sweet of him. You know, people gave him a lot of crap for going overboard on the method acting, what with acting like a lunatic all the time and giving the rest of the cast insane gifts, but I think it's really gonna pay off. This box is full of poop?
And the man at the back said everyone attack and it turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said fire on the one it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz.
So who's in this movie? Well, it's got actors from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Wolf of Wall Street, RoboCop, How to Get Away with Murder, Terminator Genesis, and the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars. What's it about? Well, there's this government lady, Amanda Waller, and due to the rise of metahumans following Superman's appearance, she wants to create an expendable team of dangerous supercriminals that she can control to her needs. Literally nothing in that plan sounds like a good idea. The movie takes about 15 minutes to introduce each of the members of the squad, but I'm gonna try to do it in less time. So we've got the world's greatest marksman with a soft spot for his daughter, the Joker's equally insane girlfriend, a bad-tempered Australian with killer boomerangs, a dude who controls fire, a cannibalistic crocodile man, and a woman possessed by the spirit of a 7,000-year-old witch. Oh, and a guy who uses ropes. But the movie doesn't even care enough about him to give him an introduction or even much of a character. Which is a real shame. I was really looking forward to hearing more about the man who can climb anything. But the Enchantress breaks free of Waller's control and starts to enact her own plans, so the Suicide Squad is put into action. The criminals are implanted with explosive devices in their necks to assure their cooperation, and are put under the command of Colonel Rick Flag, a soldier and Waller's right-hand man who is also in a romantic relationship with the Enchantress's human host. And we only know that last bit because Waller tells us it in her introduction of the squad members. You know, it'd be kinda nice to actually see this relationship at the beginning of the movie, rather than being told it through a giant info dump.
I'm sorry, was that a negative comment?
Harley Quinn? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just here making sure nobody says any negative comments about this movie. Don't want the fan base getting upset.
But I'm a critic. I have to talk about this movie fairly, both the good points and the bad.
That's funny. That's what the last 3 people said before I knocked their kneecaps into their colons. You want to be next, Puddin'? No, ma'am. Good.
Oh, and they're also joined by Katana, a Japanese assassin and Colonel Flag's bodyguard, who just kinda shows up and makes the audience question why ninjas are in this movie too. So the Suicide Squad is sent into the fray with their military escorts and... Wait a minute. I just realized something. Waller wants to use the Suicide Squad as plausible deniability, meaning that if something in the mission goes wrong, the fact that they're criminals would make it easier to say that the government had no involvement with them. But Waller also sends United States military personnel to be their escorts. Wouldn't that directly connect it to the US government if the public noticed?
Hey, I thought I said no more negative comments. That's it. Batter up, Puddin'.
Look, it's the Joker with an engagement ring!
Oh, Mr. J, I knew he would come around.
So the Suicide Squad is sent to stop the Enchantress, who plans on taking over the world with her brother Incubus, another evil spirit who can possess people, gain strength from absorbing other humans, looks like a reject from the Thor movies, and uses giant magical tentacles as his primary weapon. Hold on, I need to look up who this guy is, because I'm confused. Oh, yeah, that's not at all what he looks like in the movie. Also, I don't think that most of the squad is qualified to take on 2 magical beings in their army, considering only 1, maybe 2 of them has actual superpowers. And the Joker is in this movie, and he wants to get Harley back because he actually has feelings for her in this version. I'm not sure how to feel about this. It's just weird seeing a version of their relationship where the Joker's not beating the tar out of Harley Quinn. And if you guys are excited to see Jared Leto's much-hyped performance as the Clown Prince of Crime, well, prepare to be disappointed, because he's only in the movie for about 10 minutes, and he doesn't even do all that much. You know, I'm really glad that one of the coolest DC Comics bad guys, and one of the major selling points of this movie, has less screen time than the freaking Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2! So final verdict, 3 exploding heads out of 5. Oh, DC. When will you learn? The plot doesn't make much sense, and the pacing is all over the place, and this is especially noticeable after the squad jumps into action. The beginning almost feels like it's from a different movie altogether. There's also a ton of characters being introduced in this movie, and not all of them get a lot of time to explore their... well, character. The only members of the squad that really get a ton of spotlight are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and kinda El Diablo. I didn't even get enough of Jared Leto as the Joker to determine whether I liked his performance or not, but from what we got, he didn't seem all that crazy to me. He just seemed uncomfortable. I mean, for God's sakes, Jesse Eisenluther acted crazier than this guy. And the antagonists are bland and boring with a bland and boring plan and vaguely defined magical abilities. Also, did we really need a big magical threat for a Suicide Squad movie? Couldn't we have saved this for a Zatanna movie or something? But overall, did I enjoy watching this movie? Yeah, I kinda did. Despite its several flaws, it's still a fun and crazy movie that's easy to sit through, and considering how dour and grim the last two DC movies were, this is a refreshing change of pace. And even though a lot of the characters are pretty ill-defined, I still found them enjoyable for the most part, and Margot Robbie killed it as Harley Quinn. Thank you so much for not screwing up this character. Warner Brothers did a lot of reshoots for this movie following the backlash from Batman v Superman, and all it really did was just make it more of a mess. I almost can't wait for the DVD release to see if they add back in all those scenes they cut or altered. Maybe that would make this movie more coherent. But if you want a recommendation for a better Suicide Squad movie, check out Batman Assault on Arkham. It's an animated movie set in the universe of the Batman Arkham games, with a similar lineup from the movie, a better plot, more focus on the characters, and much more Joker. And it does all this in an hour and 16 minutes.
Well, Mr. J wasn't out there, but I did find some pudding. Wait. I smell negativity. You were criticizing the movie again, weren't you?
Harley, I can explain!
Well, you can take your explanations and shove them up your pudding, buddy. You know what has to happen now.
Harley, please, don't kill me.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill ya. I'm just gonna hurt ya. Really, really bad.
This is the worst pain imaginable!
This is good pudding.